Heather Clark writes to us. Heather wrote, who out of the three of you is the best cook or enjoys cooking the most? And what would you consider your best or favorite food to prepare?
Let's start with the end of that question. I love to cook people breakfast. I love making breakfast for people. Like
Cool. You've
eggs,
never made me
omelets.
breakfast?
Yeah, well, you've never slept over, have you?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a valuable skill because a lot of folks are not good at breakfast, and it is the most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
I have pretty basic cooking skills myself, but I do enjoy winging it. I like making hot dogs and pizza, and
I have a ridiculous. I'm not the best cook. And this sounds like the answer from like a Great Gatsby level, like cartoonish Mr. Burns villain. I do this less than once a year, get to eat lobster. But the act of boiling a lobster is kind of fucking ridiculous. It's monstrous.
Yeah.
It's killing an animal. Most parts of modern 21st century American food prep don't involve the murder. The murder has happened before you get there.
You do the humane thing, quote unquote, and put its face in first.
I try, yeah. It's
never done it. I don't know if I could.
over in a second, but good Lord, is it bizarre.
My dad told me that when I was a kid, like really young, like 2 or 3, we lived on a beach in Kingston in a place called Gray's Beach.
Gray's Beach.
Rocky Nook.
Oh.
And they got lobsters. And my dad let me and my younger sister play with the lobsters. And the first thing we did was grab the lobsters and run for the water. And my dad had to like chase us down. And then years later, there was a commercial on TV where exactly that happened. And my dad got really misty eyed. He was like, oh, that exact thing happened with us.
I did when I was a little kid. I was at a wedding or something, and I think I sabotaged someone's plate of chicken or something like that.
Yeah.
Because there was like a whole chicken or something, and I was like, I gotta set it free. I forget what the story is,
But it was dead, right?
I suppose it was.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture
There's
this.
questions in this story.
Wait, did it look like a chicken?
I was little, I think, and I was concerned about a dead chicken.
But
or
it looked
something
like a
that.
baked chicken, right?
Maybe I'm misremembering.
What did it look like?
Oh, I ran away with something screaming animal rights or something like that. Or basically like the kid equivalent of that. Yeah.
When I was about 6 or 7 years old, Heather, this is not the question you asked, but it's the answer you're getting. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I caught a crab at the beach. I put it in the bucket. I went to my mother and father, my mother, I definitely remember, and asked, is this crab big enough to cook? Because I'd found a bunch of crabs and they'd be like, hey, we can cook these. And I went, no, that's not how this works. There isn't enough like oomph for meat on them. You need to be bigger, like the ones you find at the grocery store. I found a crab that in my 6-year-old hands was gigantic. And I said, can we bring them home and cook them? And it's like, I actually caught something we can eat. That was a big deal to a little kid. My mom said, yes. She was almost certainly just pandering to me. I remember the story. I looked down the bucket. It was sad. It had some water in it. And I thought, I'm going to do the right thing. Little pre-Bernie Sanders. Okay, he was around when I was 6. I just didn't know who he was. Little Ryan Murphy took the crab out to put him back in the ocean, and he fucking bit me. And he went back. I didn't eat him. He was an asshole. I hope he's dead. I hope he's a dead crab.
And that crab was like, oh, what a hero.
Maybe he's molted his shell.
You only kidnapped me.
Over 20 years of shell molting. He's gigantic at the bottom of the ocean.
He's coming back.
Plotting his revenge like a Lovecraftian nightmare.
He's going to capture you, come this close to eating you, and then spit you back, and then you're going to bite him back.
Yeah.
This is good. Fan art for any of our patrons.
But to go back to the actual question.
Who's the best cook?
I forgot. I don't think
Kevin's
any
the
of
best cook.
Are you? None of us
It ain't
are.
me.
I figured Ryan would be.
No, I'm all right.
I will say I think I can make pretty decent deviled eggs, which are comically easy to make, but everyone always says they're really good.
They are good. I can attest to that.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you, Heather, for a great question and our meandering answer. Next, from Jeremiah Allworm. Mr. Allworm, I hope I'm saying that correctly. How did you make or where did you source that rad, guaranteed audio video synth stinger? Mr. Allworm wants to know where did it come from? How did we make it? Neil, you created the guaranteed audio stinger.
I did. I actually don't remember it all that well. It's a very short stinger. It's just like a couple synths. I think it's like a 2 sounds. So it's one is the first little wiggly, which is kind of modeled after the like the 80s Disney logo sound. It's kind of that sound. And then there's like a big chord, which I think might come from an M1 synthesizer sound pack that I had. So it's, just a couple sounds that I had kicking around, and I just put them together.
You heard that sound at the very beginning of this episode, and you'll hear it again at the end.
Joey V wrote, "Hey everyone, I guess this is a Vidnight Society related question. What do you think of Huey Lewis in the News, Hip to Be Square video? I heard it was filmed with a medical camera, parentheses, the kind they insert into people's holes, end parentheses. To get those
People's holes.
to get those GoPro-like close-ups.